we could turn this into a video for Hokage highlights. Here's what we're gonna do next. Instead of going to the next batch of articles, somebody in the chat just asked me, what are my thoughts on Crimson Desert? Now I released a tweet sharing all my thoughts on it. I can read it. We can do a dramatic reading, and then I can answer your question, because I played it. For those unaware, I'm allowed to share my first impressions. I can't do a full-blown review because I ain't played the fucking game, but I have played it. I can share my thoughts with y'all if y'all have questions, if I'm able to answer it. So I can do a dramatic reading and then answer your questions. We can upload this to Hokage highlights, answering your questions about Crimson Desert. You said, oh, word, extra content. Fuck it. Why not? Let me see. Let's do some dramatic music here. Background music. Recently, I got some hands-on time with Crimson Desert, and below are my first impressions as well as some of the gameplay I was able to capture. Crimson Desert is a good game, but it will not be for everyone. I know the developers claim this is not an RPG, but I don't know any other way to describe this game other than a hardcore RPG. If you need the yellow paint to know where to climb, this game ain't for you. But if you love getting lost in a whimsical world with a boatload of content, this game is going to be right up your alley. I think what impressed me most is the attention to detail. There's so many little things the dev team took into consideration that I think people who enjoy being immersed into this world are going to appreciate. Even if you aren't that person, on a basic level, I think most will enjoy the game's combat. It's fast, fluid, and provides a ton of player expression with a deep skill tree. The world of Pywell is vibrant, large in scale, and full of life. It's easy to get lost off the main quest line as there's always something to do and someone to speak to. An example being, I was wandering through the open world and I encountered a distressed woman seeking help. I agreed to follow her only to find out moments later she was with a gang and they were trying to backdoor a nigga. That shit had me laughing. I think if the open world is consistently full of fun, unique side content like that, and the main quest line is fire, this game has a lot of potential to impress. It's just a shame that I didn't get to spend more time with the main quest as I kept getting sidetracked with cool stuff to do in the open world, so I can't give you much insight into that. What I can say is, after the opening section, there's next to no tutorials in the game. The puzzles are hard and the default controls are a bit clunky. You will be getting lost, and I can see that frustrating some people who aren't interested in a challenge. That's why I mentioned earlier that this is a hardcore RPG. It does not do a lot of hand-holding. Because of that, I predict you and your friends will be sharing tips and tricks similar to when Elden Ring first launched and nobody knew what they were doing. If you're a patient person and take the time to learn the game systems, I promise you'll be able to put together some awesome combos that'll make you feel like the main character. My biggest fear for this game is that I won't finish it. Not because it's a bad game, but I can just tell from my brief time with it that it's next level massive. As someone who's been gaming for 30 plus years, it's very rare you'll hear me say a game is overwhelming, but this game is. For the people who lack a ton of free time, I can see that being a turnoff because once again, the game doesn't give much direction or tutorials outside of the opening area. Not to mention, this game could be big just for the sake of being big. I was curious to know how much of the content was engaging versus just open world bloat, kind of like Ubisoft games. Hard to tell because I only had a few hours with the game. I also fear that the AI is not the best in this game. The AI issues I encountered zapped all immersion away for those moments. I'm not sure if the final build will be different from the vertical slice we played, but what I can tell you is that on that build we played, I was not impressed by the artificial intelligence. Several times I attacked enemy camps and they never reacted to me attacking them. They just stood there and took it, which made the world feel less alive. There were also times where enemies were looking dead at me, just standing still as the battle music played, threatening to beat me up, but they never did anything. What I'm trying to say is, like, I encountered enemies and they'd be like, come on, bring it on, and the battle music is playing, and I would attack them, but they wouldn't attack me back. So the game wasn't working correctly. It was 3 or 4 times I encountered this poor AI, which is a red flag for me because I only got 2 hours of hands-on time with this game. Mind you, in those 2 hours, a good portion of it was just me working my way through the prologue and early quests, so I didn't get to spend a ton of time in the open world. I was supposed to get 6 hours, but unfortunately the building the event took place in, they were having electrical issues. It was too many PCs and it blew up the fucking electrical grid. So we had to take turns and I was only able to play for 2 hours. What I'm trying to get at is that the janky AI was very noticeable. It wasn't something that took long to find. Yeah, I didn't go out my way to find it. I will say when the game works, I will say the game is great when it works, but when I tell you the AI was bad at times, it was bad. It reminds me of the dumb NPCs often found in Ubisoft open world games. I'm not looking for this to be a Souls game, but I want some level of challenge in the combat. Hopefully that stuff gets patched out. That being said, I'm confident in saying this game is good. I just didn't have enough time with it to determine if it's good or great. Only time will tell when Crimson Desert drops on March 19th, 2026 for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Then you have my pros and cons here. Now, I just read all that shit for y'all because I know you motherfuckers don't like to read. So do me a favor, since y'all can't read, at bare minimum, go like and retweet that goddamn tweet so you can spread it. It's at 300,000 views. We need to be at 1 million, nigga. I read all that shit after I wrote it. All right. That being said, now that I gave you kind of my general impressions, and you know what, going forward, because I think I am going to use Twitter as a format, super spreader, what up, Siggy? I think I am going to use Twitter as a format to share my first impressions, and then we could turn it into a video where like I read and just kind of answer your questions if I can. If anybody has any questions about Crimson Desert, I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. But keep in mind, I can't answer everything because I haven't beaten the game. I read it all. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I'm gonna put some gameplay on the screen. Let's see. Fuck it. We'll just do this shit. First question is, where's my code? Hey, I can point you in the right direction of who you need to ask if you want. Just reposted it. I appreciate you. Did you get a review copy? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I did. Anyways, how's the customization? So you can't customize the character Griff, but you can customize your playstyle. There's a big ass skill tree. And each has different playstyles. There's really cool stuff in there. A lot of just mobility and basic attack abilities. There's magic abilities. Like one I seen where like you can turn into like you could turn into Prime Iceman, Bobby Drake. Iceman. Like there's an ability where you turn into ice and then you like explode and like it damages everybody by and shit. It was pretty cool. There's a lot of shit in here. I'm not gonna lie, it feels like with this game and the skill tree, the developers were like, let's just make a fun game and put as much goofy shit in here. Cause from what I can tell in the story, it doesn't really explain why he can do all this crazy shit. It's not like he's a mutant in the X-Men with some crazy explanation. He's just doing shit. I saw the map. It's huge. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying this is what it is. I'm telling you based off what I played. This game is at least 2, maybe even 300 hours. I ain't even gonna lie, Chad. This might be one of the biggest games I ever played. I cannot promise you that. What I can promise you is, without a doubt, this game is at least 100 and 150. Matter of fact, it was recommended to us that we should not share our full-blown review unless we get 60 to 80 hours on it at least. So it's a big-ass game. It's a big-ass game. I'm not gonna lie. This is one of those games I don't think I'm gonna beat it anytime soon. It might take me the whole fucking year, dude. If you get a chance, matter of fact, I think somebody posted it. Let's see. Oh, because I can't trust Twitter. Crimson Desert map size. I know I seen a video. Somebody posted this shit. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, they did. Here we go. And let me know if y'all like this type of content where like I preview games, I share my impressions, then I answer questions. Let me know if y'all like this. I can keep doing it because this is easy on stream. But yeah, Joraptor posted it. Yo, zoom out. Zoom the fuck out, bro. This is not a good representation. This is not a good representation. Hold up 1 second. Let me see if I can find a different one. That's not good either. I should have recorded the fucking map size. Y'all gonna have to trust me. It's massive. Yeah, please keep doing this. But the video pissed me off. It didn't zoom out. Yeah, he's not zoomed. Okay, this one's kind of zoomed out. This could just kind of give you an idea. It's a massive fucking map. Can you tell us about the controls? Okay, so I wasn't a big fan of the controls. It could just be a skill issue. You might not have the same issue that I have. For me, I wasn't a big fan of the controls because like I personally just like games with intuitive controls. And as somebody who's been gaming their whole life, even for me, it took a second to get used to it. Like sprinting, you have to triple tap. You have to keep tapping the A button on the Xbox controller, and then he'll start sprinting. The good thing is, after you do that, you keep sprinting, but then it drains your stamina. So you have to be mindful of your stamina. And then for some reason, you jump with the X button. I went into the settings. I couldn't find anything to switch the controls either. Yeah, you jump with the X button. I'm not gonna lie, that was fucking with me because most video games you jump with the A button. You attack with RB, which would be R1 on PlayStation, and then the heavy attack was right trigger, which would be R2. That was okay, but like just some of the movement stuff. I found also that the platforming wasn't that good. He jumps kind of clunky. It's not intuitive, and you can climb a lot in it. It's got like Assassin's Creed elements in it. Jumping with X is insane. Yeah, now that I got more time with the game, I've gotten used to it, but like even still, I find myself thinking about it, if that makes sense. No yellow paint, no yellow paint. Them puzzles is no joke. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you are the type of person, this is what I mean when I said this is not the type of the game where you need where you're gonna get the yellow paint to guide you. What I mean is like the puzzles are hard because you don't get any type of cues. So you know, like in Zelda, when you're doing a puzzle in a dungeon, you know you're going the right way or you're doing the right thing and you're getting hotter because like when you put like a piece down on something, it'll make a noise. Do 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 do. All right, I got this part. Let me figure out the second half. In this game, there's no like sound cues or visual cues that I could tell. Like you just got to put all the pieces in the right place and hope for the fucking best that it activates, basically. I like that. Yeah, and that's why some people didn't understand what I was saying in that text when I said it's not going to be for everybody. I'm not going to knock a game for doing that, but I also understand it's not for everybody. That's going to piss some people off. It is very hardcore. He seems very heavy in the movement. Yeah, that's what I mean when I say that like the platforming is not the best. And you know, I come from the school of Mario, Jak and Daxter. I feel like he's very heavy on his feet, so the platforming wasn't the best. But that being said, I was early game. The skill tree is massive. There might be ways to make it better. So matter of fact, take everything I say with a grain of salt. I only got so much time on the game. It might improve. Like I didn't like the bow and arrow, the early bow and arrow. I didn't feel like it did a lot of damage, but I'd imagine you could probably get better bow and arrows and shit like that. So DSP can't play the game. Yo, chill out, bro. But the reason I kept bringing up this game may not be for everybody, because if you're one of those people that needs a game to respect your time, you got a significant other, party, a family, a partner, kids, it might be hard to get time on this game. Does the skill tree basically make you have builds? Oh, you know what? I think I have gameplay. I might have like a screenshot of the skill tree. Let me see. The gameplay I have is very limited. I thought they recorded more, but yeah, I got like clips right here. The question is, which one has the skill tree? I think I captured it, but it probably would have been towards like the end. Do you think it'll blow up my Steam Deck? Probably. Why can I not move the fucking timeline? Let's go with this. Fucking Windows Media Player sucks. Some of this, oh, you know what it is? It's 4K gameplay. That's why this shit's not loading correctly. It worked at my video editor. Yeah, why the fuck can I play the video, but then I can't move the timeline? So in other words, JG ain't beating it? Probably not. Probably fucking not. Yeah, I can't move the timeline for some reason. Gotta be a screenshot. Do I have any other photos? I might be able to throw it in the editor. If VLC can't run it, it's nothing. It's 4K footage. That's, yeah, look, see how it's like fucking up. It looked, okay, it's only pixelated for like a moment. Let me skim through this since if I can find it.
Like your sort.
No, that's not it. Let's see. I work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week on a rotating shift. I have a girlfriend. I want to play the game so bad, but I don't know if I have the time. Yeah, even if you just want to run the main storyline, I feel like it's going to be hard for a lot of people. That's it. This game is like, it's fucking massive. My bad. Like, I didn't know the footage would load like this. I don't know why it's doing that. This was a waste of time. Keep it a buck. How does it run? I know everyone's setup is different. So I can only tell you, so we were playing the PC version and it was an event. So I think they were like high-end Alienware PCs or something like that. It ran fine. I didn't have no issues. My issues were with the AI. It was running buttery smooth. The optimization is good. I can't speak on the console version, but the optimization was good. My issue was more with the AI. I know for a fact I have a footage of that AI like just doing stupid shit because I remember exactly where it had. I had some really bad footage if I can find it. It was in the open world, probably towards the. I feel like it'd be in one of these. Appreciate it. I pre-ordered. I might just do the quest line and call it a day. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know I like to play these games and explore. I might do a little exploring, but I might just stick to the main quest line because like I said, I genuinely felt overwhelmed playing this shit. Like it's the first preview event I went where I was like, which direction do I go in? What do I do? I wish I would have been able to test out the wrestling moves. Yeah, I think it's this clip right here. Because I think it happened right here. Like, but if you notice, they didn't really attack me. I'm pretty sure it's this clip right here. Yep, there it is right there. All right, so this is what I mean when I say the AI concerns me in the game. I swear I'm not trying to bash it. I'm just trying to be fair. I need this to unpixelate. I started a fight with like some goblins in the open world and they never attacked me. They just watched me. Dish network quality. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, you peep what they're doing. This happened to me on multiple occasions. LOL, this is bad. Interesting. It didn't happen every time, but it happened to me like 3 or 4 times, and that's why I said it in the text. Mind you, I only played this game for 2 hours. And I noticed it multiple times, and I'm like, you could do all this cool shit, but if they're not challenging me. To be fair, though, we're playing an older build. Yeah, I was flabbergasted. That's why I stopped moving. They might patch it out. They might patch it out. But that was one of my main concerns for the game. I'm hoping that like there's not a lot of that because it reminded me of Ubisoft games. I hope they release a patch to tweak the aggression. Yeah, the good news is that is an easy fix. Were you able to give feedback or no? Not because keep in mind the game comes out like in 2 weeks. There's nothing you could do to fix it right now. Definitely saw other people say Ubisoft level AI. Okay, so it wasn't just me. I didn't watch other people's reviews. Here's some of the platforming, I think. But this is with me struggling. To be fair, this is me kind of struggling with the controls. But he's just kind of heavy on his feet. It looks like, yo, shout out to Byros with the super chat. It looks like an expanded Dragon's Dogma. Hopefully this patch makes it harder. I can see how you feel like that with like the open world and the art direction, but like the combat is not like Dragon's Dogma. The combat is its own thing. You're not climbing creatures and shit like that. It has a really cool combo system. A game simply being long doesn't automatically mean it's not respecting your time. Just learn to manage your time like an adult. No one's forcing you to binge it. Yeah, that's fair. I guess for me, and this is what was hard to tell from the demo. Is it full of content that's interesting, or is it full of content just for the sake of content? And like, because from what I saw in the open world, I don't know. I only played a couple hours. From what I saw in the open world, I was encountering enemy camps, enemy bases, like Ubisoft games, or like Breath of the Wild. And I was like, I kind of feel like I played this. So I feel like personally, and I'm gonna be honest, the story wasn't particularly interesting to me so far. So I feel like this game is going to be hard carried by its combat. If you genuinely enjoy the combat and just exploring the world, I think a lot of people are gonna like that. The puzzles were cool too. They're fucking hard, but the puzzle level design is fucking fire too. They look really cool, the worlds that you get to be in. But I do think this game is gonna be hard carried by its gameplay. I'm not sure if that story is gonna be what it needs to be. It's different when you're a content creator and it's your job to evaluate and play different. Yeah, I think I feel like even though viewed as like a content creator, I evaluate games more like a journalist. Like I'm looking for the pros and like the cons. I'm not just there because I'm excited and shit. So like I'm gonna tell you what I think. And also keep in mind, everything I'm saying is opinions. None of this is to make you feel bad or like if you pre-ordered it, because I did get one thing wrong. I said in my thing, my pros and cons, there was no fall damage, and I thought that was cool for like traversing. But then I saw some other people's footage. There's fall damage in here, just for correction, because I don't want anybody thinking I'm spreading misinformation. Once again, I only got a couple hours to play. Apparently, I just didn't jump off a high end. It's pretty lenient when you're jumping off high places. I didn't die, but if you jump high enough, there is fall damage. Low-key, a game like this needs a strong story. I would agree with the big open world, but some people might just be satisfied with the gameplay. Glad I didn't miss this segment. Did you talk about the performance on console? We played on PC. I can't speak on the console. All I can tell you is it was buttery smooth on PC. It was buttery smooth. Did you do the fall from the sky puzzles? I did, but I only did the tutorial one, and then one after that. All I can tell you is the level designs are good, but like I said, it's not gonna be for everybody because them bitches don't hold your hand. But I did like the designs of them. You have a different flavor of games. We all have taste type shit. Got to test them ankles. How was the music? The music was fire. The music was fire. And even to be fair, even some of the side quests that I encountered, they were fun. It was just in the open, because the goblin camp thing, for clarification, in the open world, that's all I found is goblin camps that you could fight. And then it happened twice. So remember how I said earlier in the text, the woman was like, yeah, I need help. Can you come help me over here? And then you follow her and you get jumped by a gang. That happened twice. So I'm like, okay, we got repeated dynamic events. But to be fair, when you're in a village, the side quests were much more interesting. Like it was funny as hell. I ran into one side quest when I was in a village. It starts off by me approaching this woman, and then all you hear is do, and the dude, he falls off the roof. And he lands on his back and damn near breaks his back. So then they ask you to sweep their chimney. The dude was trying to sweep their chimney and he fucked his back off and fell off the roof. So then there's a side quest where you gotta sweep a chimney. It made me laugh. I was like, whatever, bro. So I think it depends on the quality of the content is gonna be where you are in the side quest. So everyone found that side quest? Probably. Cause the game is so fucking big. Those beginning areas are probably gonna experience the same things. I know you got 2 hours of the game, but for the second hour, did they let you play an in-game build? Nah, they didn't. Nah, they did not. Is this a game of the year contender? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I'm not comfortable saying that. This game is too massive. I'm not comfortable saying that. I did play something else that I felt that way. Can't tell y'all what I played though. If the other thing that I played, if it doesn't get a nomination for game of the year, I'm feeling confident at bare minimum it's going to get a nomination for best action game. You can customize your character. Yeah, like the outfits. I found multiple outfits, and then as well as like your play style too, but not like you can't change the skin color or like I don't know if you can change the hair or not. Just like the small stuff. Does it run on GameCube? Ban that, man. Shout out to Artie Revolution with the sub. Appreciate it. Have y'all heard of the Motion Man? Have y'all heard of the Motion Man? Any more questions before we wrap this up? Because I think I got one more batch of articles. I'm trying to answer whatever I can, but answering the real questions, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to see what's up with it. Based on what you played and had to pick, would you buy Pragmata or Crimson Desert? Well, luckily I got Motion, so I don't gotta buy either, nigga. This man really said GameCube. Any features you really liked? Features I really liked. I think the best part to me was the combat. The combat is really fun. You could do a lot of cool things. My biggest question marks, like I said, is the AI. I'm gonna be honest, Griff wasn't really resonating with me as a character. And the cutscenes, they didn't really resonate with me, like the world. So like the why. For me personally, everybody's different. Like you can play a game like this, and because the gameplay is so strong, it'll be a 10 out of 10 for you. But for me, I feel like the little things matter. And like the character's not resonating with me. But my opinion could change because once again, it was only a few hours. That's why I'm saying take everything what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Oh yeah, the parries are fire. The parries have a nice little oomph to them. That's why I said the combat is fire. When you parry, he hits them with the shield, and it has like a nice impact to it, and it gives you a nice amount of time to respawn. Sometimes you'll knock multiple enemies out of the way too. That's pretty fucking fire. I think that was in the footage I played too, that I put on Twitter. Oh, I think this is the same video I uploaded. Let me see. No, you're not. Yeah, this. Yeah, I can. That's one thing I can't confirm. This is not a PS4 game. This game is very pretty. This game is very pretty. I will say, the game looks really good. It's going to be one of the best looking games of the year, but it's not like one of the best looking games I ever seen. I'm trying to articulate this the correct way. I think this game has stronger art design. The textures are just okay. Like, the textures are just okay, but what carries the visuals is the art design, the vibrant colors, the way the world scales. I think that carries it more than the actual textures, if that makes sense. I know exactly what you mean. You'd be like, ooh, pretty game. But like, if you actually zoom in on the textures, they're not pushing any boundaries, I don't think. But let me see. Can you swim? Yes, you can. Yeah, see how I counted right there and then knocked them back? Skirt. Yeah, you can turn down the particle effects. It's in the settings. I can confirm that. I looked in the settings. It's in there. You can swim. You can swim, but what I will say is I'm gonna give you a piece of advice. In the skill tree, there's options to upgrade your stamina. Matter of fact, that's the stamina bar right there. Hold up. So everything you do in the game, it'll be controlled by this right here, this little square thing, this little squiggly mark. That's your stamina bar going down. And when it hits like the tip right there, just the tip, you lose all stamina. So when you lose all stamina, you'll fall off. So if you hop in the water, you will start swimming, but your stamina bar will go down. And if you don't have the stamina upgraded, you will drown really quickly. And I found that out the hard way because I drowned multiple times. So I will advise you, make sure you put some skill points on stamina if you want to play the game. Yeah, Zelda-like. Yeah, Breath of the Wild type shit. Were there any incentives to explore? I think the biggest incentive that I saw to explore so far was the level design. I will say the world they crafted is fucking fire, and that's why this game is going to drive me crazy. The beautiful colors, the landscapes, the scale of it with the castles, the way the puzzles look with the lighting and stuff. That's the biggest reason to explore. They crafted a really beautiful world, I think. It's hard to tell what other kind of dynamic events that I can get into, though, because I tried to explore more of the world, but there were invisible walls in our build, so I could only go so far. Damn, that's tough. Can you gain buffs from food and potion? That's a good question. Yes. So early on, there's a mission where you have to explore a castle. And if you go into the right room, you'll go to where the peasants are cooking and you'll pick up your first recipe and then the tutorial will play out. So yeah, you can cook in the game and it'll give you buffs and like more strength, more health, or more defense and stuff like that, like Breath of the Wild. This game, the best way to describe this game is it's literally a baby of a bunch of different RPGs. That's why I think it's funny that they say we shouldn't call it an RPG. It feels like, I don't know, like Batman Arkham meets Breath of the Wild, meets a bunch of other shit, man. A bunch of other shit. What I will say though, even though the combat was fire, yeah, meets The Witcher. The combat was fire. The thing that I didn't like about the combat is the camera's a little wonky. There's moments where the camera's too close. There's moments where the camera's pulled back too far. So then it makes it hard to see some of the enemies and you get clocked upside the head, not because of a skill issue. That's one of those things where I feel like I wish I had the option to turn that moving dynamic camera off because it feels like it was trying to be different for the sake of being different. When you could have just left it as a third-person action game where the camera stays a certain... Like, this is an example where I mean fire level design. You're just going to be exploring. You're going to find like random puzzles and shit. I couldn't even figure out how to fucking start this puzzle. I was like, bruh, I got a limited amount of time. I'm just gonna keep moving. How was the stuff in the sky? It was fire. Fire, another example of really good level design. Low-key looks like AC Valhalla. It doesn't play like it though. Game looks beautiful, lots of stuff to do. There are levels in if you venture into the wrong part, you'll get bodied in 2 shots. Well, yeah, because the game is skill-based. I think that's why they don't want to call it an RPG. So once you get into the open world, you can go anywhere you want. You just have to have the skill to survive, basically. Is there weapon durability? Not to my knowledge. Oh, here's another example of poor AI is what I mean. Watch, I attack them and then they don't attack back. No, it's not live service. And I'm really hoping this was just bad luck for me. Because look, nobody's attacking me. So if you die, a true skill issue. Well, I'd imagine the further you venture into the map, you're going to find tougher enemies. And if your dodge game and your parry game is on point, you can beat them. But the issue is you're low level, so you're not going to do a lot of damage. But yeah, I do like when games do that, when I can go whatever the fuck I want to go. Hopefully it's a bug. Yeah, I'm hoping so too. Parry system's nice. It's got enough nice oomph to it. Power fantasy type shit. Too much aura, too much aura, too much aura. Is there anything else I can show y'all? I don't know if there's anything else worth showing. Aren't all regions supposed to be different in difficulty? That I don't know. This is what I mean when I say like the game is gorgeous, but it's more of an art direction than the textures. Like it's just the use of color. We need more games with beautiful color in it, bro. I did not get to fight a boss, but I saw it's confirmed like 76 bosses or something like that. Could you see in the skill tree if there's a taming system? Nah, not to my knowledge. I know I looked at the skill tree very briefly, but I don't think it recorded it. So like I was recording for the entire 2 hours, but I didn't get all my footage. It was just like random shit. So I had to use what I had. I don't know what the fuck this shit is, man. Like I said, they were having tech issues. I'm not going to be mad at them. Shit happens. The climbing is intuitive, though. It's not as good as Assassin's Creed, but I mean, if anything, you can... Oh, here's first person. You can change the first person. Now, can you fight like this? I don't know. The only reason I discovered it was first person is because I fat fingered. So I don't know what you can and cannot do in first person. It could just be like those old school platforming games on the PS2 where all you can do is look. I don't know if you can do more. But as far as the climbing, it's pretty intuitive. Just run at the wall, jump with X, and he'll climb onto it. You just need to have enough stamina. I just wish the animations were better on the climbing. First person might be nice. I literally was just running around exploring, trying to see shit. What if it's 76 known bosses and 15 to 20 new secret ones? I would not be surprised.
What shit, Wolf?
Man thinks he's Ezio. One thing I thought was weird is like whenever you talk to people, you have to hold LB and then press X. Like when you walk up to them, you can't just like press A. So then I'd be waiting for the cutscene to play out. This is the kind of reviews we need, and it didn't do it. Like, it's stuff that, like, I'll get used to over time, but what the fuck is this footage doing? But, pre-ordered on the shit station, for real, GameStop. Why you call it the shit station if you pre-ordered it, bro? Shout out to JFE with the super chat. He said the game looks beautiful, lots of stuff to do, but I still keep asking myself the question, what is it exactly? Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. That's how I left the event feeling. I understand what it is from a gameplay standpoint. I just don't understand why we're doing anything. And I've played the prologue twice now, allegedly, and I still don't know what the fuck the game is about. Because I feel like the game, and maybe it'll explain it more in the story, but I feel like the game kind of just drops you in, and it just kind of assumes you know everything. I don't know. I'm a little worried about the story. I don't know about that. How were the factions? Anything on that? I can't speak on that. I don't know about the fact. All I can tell you is I saw humans and I saw big ass goblins. Can you fast travel? There is a mini map. I don't know if there's fast travel. I think I read on Twitter there is, but I can't confirm that for you. Did you hear about people skipping cutscenes in a single player game? They were mad that was an option. Yeah, there's no option to skip the cutscene, but if you hold down A on the Xbox controller, which would probably be X on PlayStation, you could fast forward, so you can still follow the cutscene. It's literally like putting a YouTube video on 1.5 or 2. You can't fully skip it, but you can speed it up. It's an option. You don't have to use it. I don't really care. I think it's useful for like some days. Maybe you want to sit there and really immerse yourselves, but then there's days where maybe you want to skip through the shit. Cyberpunk, yeah, like Cyberpunk. Any hot takes? Nah. All I can say is I do feel confident that it is a good game. I can tell y'all that much. I do feel confident saying that. I can't tell you if it's because the thing about this game, The way I feel like the interesting thing about Crimson Desert is it's the polar opposite of a lot of games that have been coming out recently. And what I mean is it feels like with a lot of these games, people have been hoping that these games fail. Crimson Desert is one of those games this year where like it seems like everybody on social media wants this game to win. So I'm trying to be very careful about what I say because I don't want it to come back to bite me. All I can confidently say is like it is a good game. I just don't know if it's great or not. And that's why I said I need more time with it. It feels like at bare minimum, it's an 8 out of 10. It feels like that based off what I played. It feels like at least an 8 out of 10. But to get to that 9 or higher, like I need to see more. I'm not fully convinced on that, but it could just be I didn't have enough time with the game. Because friendly reminder, the game doesn't really have any tutorials outside of the opening prologue area. Once you get into this open world, good luck, nigga. So a lot of the time when I was playing it, it was me trying to figure out the controls. What can I do? They have like these weird puzzles where you can reflect light with your sword and you have to hit it at like the right angle, but it doesn't really explain shit to you. Yeah, it says get good. So I felt like a lot of the time I was spent just trying to get good at it. And this game legit made me feel stupid at times. So it's not fair for me to harshly judge anything because I can recognize some of it was a skill issue. So that's me trying to be fair. The mid to late game is where it's going to shine type shit. That's all I got to say to it. I don't feel like nobody's asking any other questions. You think it's better than Dragon's Dogma? It's not hard to do that, nigga. Come on now.